Former African Democratic Change founder Makhosi Khoza has found a new job. She's now OUTA's new executive director and head of its local government program. Makhosi announcing her retirement from politics, saying she's not cut out for it. While she joins us now, and just to add to that statement, just saying that you want a clean break from politics really when you announced the move to step down from ADEC. Why OUTA?
Well, as a matter of fact, I began my journey in local government in 1996, and subsequent to that, I became CEO of Salka, Wanaloka, and so forth. And I also pursued my studies up to a PhD level in local governance. And when OUTA approached me and they said to me, listen, we think you can make more impact in this space, and we know that you are passionate about local government. Why not? I exercised my right to make a decision, and I made it.
What has been informing your decision-making, especially perhaps in the context of the past year?
Well, you know, when we are living in a very, very rapidly changing society. And I don't think we should have a barometer about when should you change. And if you look at something and you can see that something is not going to work for you, you must make that decision and move on.
What will you be doing as the head of the local government program?
We are going to be dealing with corruption at local government level, and we are going to deal with appalling service delivery issues at local government. And we also are going to be dealing more with capacity building, which is more the area that I'm really, really passionate about, because I really do think that that sector of government has been neglected completely, and it's good that we are now going to be zooming into it the same way as we have been focusing on ESCOM, the same way as we've been focusing on SAPC and any other parastatal.
One of the things that you've said, especially in the wake of this announcement, you said you see your association with OUTA now and this move as being free from politics. But can you honestly say that, given the fact that by virtue of the kind of work that you're going to be doing and, you know, the subjects you'll be pursuing, it'll bring you into direct contact with some of the people who are even your former comrades?
I think you actually misunderstand what I say. When I retire from politics, I'm retiring from party politics. Okay. Engaging with politicians, obviously I am going to be engaging with them. They are major stakeholders in governance, and there's no way you can do away with them. And I've never said I will never talk to them again. And that was not the suggestion. When I say I retire from politics, I'm saying I no longer want to be a member of a political party or be associated with a particular political ideology.
And do you think that OUTA, by virtue of being the voice that represents certain civil society organizations, but much of its work, and there is a perception that its relationship with government is somewhat adversarial, you know, just by virtue of the kind of projects that they choose to take on?
Let me tell you something. If you are going to be dealing with corruption, it's inadvertently you are going to have some kind of confrontation, because by its nature, some people that are committing those acts, they know that the logical place they should be is the jail. And obviously, they would portray that as an adversarial relationship, whereas it's actually meant to benefit the people, and it's not necessarily about the corrupt or it's not about the corrupt or the institution that they are associated with. It's really about the impact of that on the people on the ground.
Is this at all also about going after some of those that you know, at least with your context and background in the ANC, have been accused of corruption but remain office bearers today within the space of government and local government?
Well, let me tell you something. I am going to be fighting corruption, whether it's DA, whether EFF or ANC, irrespective of whoever else, whether it's black, whether it's white, it doesn't matter. To me, corruption is corruption, and that's the mission that I associate with.
And of course, this decision comes as in the past week or so, there have been reports, at least allegations of mismanagement and against the CEO of OUTA, Wayne Duveneck. You know, what are your impressions of those allegations? Have you had an opportunity to speak?
You know, let me tell you something. I know the sting of smear campaigns, and I was also one of the victims of the smear campaigns by some members when I was with part of ADEC, you know, and it's very important for us to be objective and to assess the evidence that is presented before you and make your decisions based on that. As far as I'm concerned, there is nothing untoward that can make me, you know, believe whatever that has been said about OUTA. As far as I'm concerned, I think that is actually a very good organization.
In terms of an aerial view, and, you know, we'll switch gears a little bit now.
No problem.
A lot has happened in your life in the past year. You've left the ANC, which you describe as family. You started your own political organization, which you stepped down from, and now you're joining OUTA.
And that's called dynamism.
Exactly. So what has it been like in terms of finding your footing, or even redetermining the kind of path that you're on?
You know, I had to be honest with myself and ask myself, Makhosi, you have all these qualifications, you have all this experience that you have acquired over the past 20 years. What have you done with them? Can you really say, you know, you've done enough when our local government is riddled with corruption, when the cities are filthy, when service delivery protests have become like a feature, a permanent feature of South African society? And I concluded that, you know what, I have to play my part in the space of local governance and the elevation of African languages as those of prestige and prosperity. Some
commentators have said that in a broader sense, there is no space for strong female leadership within the South African political landscape. Out of your own experience, what would you say to that?
Politics in South Africa remain extremely patriarchal. And unfortunately, that is exacerbated by the high unemployment rate. And a lot of men, in particular, they have a lot of pressures because even their families, they are expecting them to be head of households, to support their families. And as a result, they see that space of politics as an easy space where they can go and actually contest. And that way, they end up defining women out of the political space. If you will recall, Zanele Makhoza had multiple strokes. Hazel Jenkins, the former premier of Northern Cape, also suffered multiple strokes. Really, we have to do something about the space of women, but unfortunately, I've taken a decision that I would rather focus on civil society, and I'm very comfortable with my decision.
With the benefit of hindsight, is it cold outside the ANC?
Very warm. I enjoy it. I'm glowing, don't you think?
Dr. Khoza, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Okay.
Makhosi Khoza talking to us about her next move. She's now joining the OUTA organization as the head of local government program, and she becomes one of their executives.